Hi, if you've been watching me on Facebook and my YouTube channel, Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur, hi, it's me, it's Minna, and this little clip is just a follow-up of the most recent. Now the reason why I have put my court case out there for the public, not only for public support, but also just to help everybody else, because the system's changed so much, and my own finding with how the court system and the transition to the modern day technology system, you know, there's a lot of not good stuff about it, as far as evidence, as far as safety wise, and just the whole process. From my own personal experience, I've experienced it to be a very serious malfunction of the justice system. So at this stage, I'm still litigating my own court case, and when it goes to criminal is where I'd like it to go. Then I'll probably get I've got the option of getting a lawyer to completely take over everything. But what I've found is that during the process of what I've gone through, in real life, humans, people are prejudiced, people are racist, people are biased, and people do stick up for themselves. Lawyers stick up for themselves, they stick up for each other. You know, everybody in prominent position, when something's, you know, someone's going to be in big trouble, they stick up for each other. You know, family sticks up for each other, cultures stick up for each other, religions stick up for each other. And so that's the predicament it has been. I've been the object, I've been the victim, I've been the one that has gone through this human trafficking process historically. So that's my that is what I have found. So my court case has to do with my own personal journey, nobody else's. So what you're actually getting is a real life court case. It's not being dictated by somebody else. I'm not dictating, sorry. I'm interpreting in my own words of what I've gone through with my court case and my own experience within the moment as things happen. So a few weeks ago or so, I actually lodged more applications with the courts to get the court case moving. So if you've been following me, the last time this case was active in court was in the Supreme Court. So at the moment, according to the laws, I'm still within my rights to represent myself. I'm still within my rights to have my medical records cleared. They are unlawful strikes as far as the judgments are concerned. So I am within my right to have all that cleared. So that is what I'm, my mindset, and that is where I am at this stage. So I will just give a brief review of how I have found with the process within recent weeks, keeping in mind I'm no secret to nobody. And so over the years, what has happened to me, I haven't consented to any of it, not legally, not verbally, but I knew that I was subject to something that was against my will. It was, you know, it was just a set of circumstance that was controlled and manipulated during the process, and all that I could do was make the right decisions within the moment. So now I can actually confirm and actually verify that I do know what human trafficking by force means, and what I've been through does break all the laws in the Criminal Crimes Act 1961. They've deleted a lot of it, but I think they should bring all those laws back, because those laws actually protects an individual, it protects companies. They were there for a reason in the first place, but I think because of the transition into the technology, everybody kind of lost sight of the dangers, and there has been a lot of dangers with this new technology system. So I'll just talk briefly and quickly about my experience. Leading up to 2 weeks, lodging my application, I rang the call centre. And I asked the call centre just to follow up, because when I submitted my application, I had asked the registrar to treat my case as private as possible. It was a high profile case, but this time around I had changed my tactic, and I decided to put in harassment orders because my case falls in a jurisdiction of civil, like a civil case. So if you've been watching me on my Facebook page, I broke down and simplified what is the difference between a protected disclosure and the difference to a harassment order. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, they can have all these wonderful applications that's supposed to help everyone, but, you know, no one uses it because they don't know what it's for. So that is what it's for. So, but my case is not family violence, because I'm not in a relationship with anyone, and I don't have domestic relationships at all with anyone. In fact, I have a wonderful relationship with my family, but my case does fall in a jurisdiction of where there's civil harassment. So civil harassment is when all the companies are involved. There's public scrutiny where people are coming out of their homes. Then there's car hostels, so hostility when there's cars. Even, I mean, believe it or not, this is kind of like a new one. I didn't even know it could happen, but it has happened to me, where there's hostile alliances even in the supermarket. And that's not even driving a car, but I do know that when I had a car, I had several car accidents that weren't my fault. And then, you know, there was the most common one is the alliances with, you know, organized crimes with to do with cars. They are using their vehicles. So that has been my experience over the years. So I needed these harassment orders to work for me, because I can't go forward. I can't advance. I can't do anything, because I feel like whoever's behind what I'm going through are just helping themselves to my work. And then the other concern is the switching, the stealing of documentations, and all that has taken place in one profile. Yeah. So, but what I have found, I'm trying to keep this clip really short, is that leading up to 2 weeks of lodging my application, I rang the call centre to ask the call centre as a follow-up, because I hadn't heard anything, because I'd asked the registrar in this letter to treat my application really serious. However, I'm no secret, everyone knows who I am, and it's been like that for years. The call centre, I gave the name, and then they came back to me and said that they didn't know anyone. There was no one by that name, the lady that actually served me on the day. So I wasn't happy about that anyway. Then I asked them what was the process of harassment orders, and she said to me that the process is that all the documentations get sent to the defendants first, and then the defendants get a chance to respond, and then it goes to the judge. Well, of course I flipped, because that is not the process. And if that is the new process, that is very serious. That is very serious if that is happening. And so, of course, I reacted. If the conversation ever gets used in a court case, I reacted. I was upset, and I just reacted like I do when people are lying to me or putting my life at risk. And I said, well, do you realize that, you know, the Ministry of Justice have just put my life at risk and everyone else involved? Because the harassment order is meant to protect the person who is actually applying for. Okay, so of course I reacted. I was really upset about what I was advised. And not only that, I have found that for them to do what they're doing, they're only feeding the fuel for hate alliance. And I have found that is what has happened to me over the years. as the victim, as the person who've minded their own business. They've dug up my past, built an alliance, and they just fed off each other and turned everything into a game. So the case itself is definitely unlawful strikes. So I'm just trying to, clear my medical records. They need to be cleared properly legally. They need to be cleared properly publicly, because unlawful, strikes are illegal. And also, as you can tell, the danger of now, it's not good to be so private, even though you are private, and most people are private, and we're allowed to be private. But what I have found there is they've done many unlawful recording. They're actually recording our private conversation, like Big Brother, listening to everything what we're doing. They're studying our families, and then they're cloning everybody. And that's how it's happened since I lost my privacy. Yeah, and because of a breach, eventually, if you do end up left behind. And then, if you're not aware of the first signs, the first instance, or stop, do something to stop it when it does happen, you'll end up like me, fighting for your liberty, people stealing it from your bank account, deleting your profile. Yeah, so that's what it's been like. It's been a real evil process of human trafficking. It's so unreal. At this stage, I felt that because of the slow process of what's actually happening to my case, I can confirm that over the years, nothing about me has been kept private. I felt like they've been sharing information when it comes to me. That alone is a real serious violation of human rights.